for the next school year, and my sisters were looking through my old stuff prepping, and she made sure that we had fun and we interacted with kids, but she made sure that we didn't stop learning.
Timeica graduated as valedictorian from Hearst Junior High. She earned a high school scholarship which made it possible to interview for an opening at a prominent private high school, Francis Parker, on the city's near north side.
To meet an 8th grader who's able to articulate all of the things that she's interested in pursuing at such a young age, when most 8th grade students are thinking about social relationships and when most kids are wrapped up in almost an egocentric way of thinking, she was much more concerned about going to college, meeting certain expectations, and being a standard bearer for her family and for all of her friends.
They took me around the building and they asked me a lot of questions, and from that point I knew Parker was where I wanted to be, because it just seemed like a really open community and everyone was just so welcoming, and I felt like that would be the best place for me.
Timeica's acceptance at Francis Parker was just her first challenge in attending this prestigious high school. Getting there was another. Without access to a car, the 15-mile commute between LeClaire Courts on the southwest side to the Francis Parker campus in Lincoln Park came down to public transit. This meant 2 transfers and an hour-and-a-half commute each way, every day for 4 years.
It was weird to travel an hour and a half, getting up at 6 o'clock my freshman year and getting on a bus and a train and another bus by myself, not really knowing what I was doing. And it was weird because most of my peers lived in Lincoln Park and they knew each other because they went to Parker their whole lives.
Timeica entered Francis Parker as a high school freshman. Most of her classmates had attended elementary and junior high there.
When I got there for the first couple weeks, I was really apprehensive to talk to my peers and to get involved in Parker activities because I didn't really know how they would accept me or if they would accept me. And I just felt so welcomed by the students and the faculty that I felt like I could stick my foot out and try something new and not have to worry about people turning their backs on me or looking down on me.
I think that there were many of us here who were concerned about her transition, but she never let on that there were any real great challenges that would prohibit her from being engaged in the classwork or from meeting some of the standards and obligations that have been set by the faculty members here.
She met and exceeded those obligations by earning a 3.8 grade point average and serving as president of her senior class.
She was also involved in organizing a student club called Students United, and these were students of color who were committed to supporting issues that would affect kids of color here in the city of Chicago and connect them to projects outside of the institution.
She even launched her own website, Chicago Teens Uniting to Vote, which informed young adults on registering to vote.
It was just amazing to me how so many of my well-informed peers from Parker knew the importance of voting, but so many students from around where I lived didn't know, and I didn't want that to be the case.
Timeica's willingness to help others didn't stop at Chicago's borders. She flew to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina to help residents clean up and rebuild. She traveled to Ensenada, Mexico to build homes for needy residents and spent part of her summer before senior year of high school studying and performing community service in South Africa.
When we first went in to do our community service, we went into the different townships in South Africa, and it was really interesting to see how different that was from the beaches and all the beautiful places, because the townships are so horrible.
So when it came time to apply for college, Timeica had plenty of accomplishments and experience to include on her applications. She aimed high and was accepted everywhere she applied: Harvard, Brown, Duke, Yale.
I always knew I was going to college, and I always knew that I was going Ivy League. I didn't care what it took. I had to do that.
She chose Yale. Private schools are expensive, and Ivy League schools are near the top of that list. So how does a public housing resident afford Yale's $45,000 a year price tag? Timeica found some help.
Timeica Bethel of Chicago, a graduate of Francis Parker School. She will major in biology this fall at Yale University.
Timeica's adoption by her grandmother made her eligible to apply for one of 48 scholarships offered by the Department of Children and Family Services.
This particular scholarship program that Timeica was fortunate enough to win is a competitive program. The best and the brightest compete in order to receive a tuition waiver for 4 years.
Yale picks up most of the tuition and boarding expenses for students whose family incomes fall below $40,000 a year. But Timeica is still responsible for a yearly $4,400 fee, plus other miscellaneous college fees and personal expenses.
If I didn't receive this, I'm honestly not sure if I would have gone to Yale.
The DCFS scholarship provides Timeica a cash stipend of $450 per month to use toward her educational expenses. She also received $5,000 from the CHA's Windows of Opportunity Scholarship Fund.
This scholarship is unique in that it provides scholarships to only CHA residents and Housing Choice Voucher residents. And many of them would not have the opportunity to apply for scholarships outside of Windows Scholarship because they might not qualify.
Thanks for calling Divine Keller. This is Timeica. How may I help you?
To defray additional college expenses and provide a little extra spending money, Timeica worked 2 jobs this summer.
She's really outgoing, she's a good employee, she's punctual, which is always a good thing for summer help here. She's good with the students, good with the other staff members, so we like having her around.
Can I help you?
Hi, can I get a registration form, please?
For Divine Keller.
Timeica worked from 9 to 6, 5 days a week, providing general office support in DeVry's administrative office downtown.
We have a student down here that would like to talk to you.
Some of our other peers might have a couple of years on her as far as college, but she almost meets that level of a person in professionalism and responsibility.
When Timeica shuts down her computer at DeVry, she travels to the Ford City Mall where she works nights and weekends. She works hard but is not afraid to ask for help.
I encourage people to apply. Apply for as many scholarships and as many other recognitions as you can, because nothing can hurt from just trying.
The CHA's new mixed income housing is sprouting up all over the city. But that's just a part of the CHA's ambitious plan for transformation. Teaching residents and their children about educational opportunities is also an essential component. And to help young adults reach their educational goals, more and more support is available. They're out ringing doorbells.
We want to let you know about all of the new schools that have been created under Renaissance 2010.
And detouring shopping carts.
We're trying to let parents know about all the new school options.
These educational options are being promoted by Parents for School Choice, a nonprofit organization created to support Mayor Daley's Renaissance 2010 initiative. Under REN 10, as it is often called, the city will open 100 new schools by the year 2010.
Our primary goal is to engage parents and community members throughout the city of Chicago, as well as our targeted communities, about the new school options that exist and how you can access these schools, how you can enroll your children there, and just